Chat, hello, chat, what's up? Test, 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 test. Thank you all for being here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Just getting everything set up here. Getting everything set up here. No worries, no worries. Come on in, grab a seat. Show's about to begin. Dropping the, what's it called? Twitter. Doing the Twitter, you know? Twitter engagement. Go out there and retweet it, boys. Everything looks good. Okay. Now we are going to what is it? Diablo? Oh, they're live already, okay. 16 minutes. Okay. Where's the coffee though? Someone swooped my coffee. Alright. 16 minutes. That's right at 11. Is my category Diablo? Can I edit this to say Diablo? This says Diablo, okay. And this says... Can I have the coffee? Oh, thank you. Oh, hey, chat. It's Melissa's birthday. It's her birthday today. I get hearts in chat for Melissa. Diablo 4? Diablo 4. There we go. Man, I haven't logged on to this in a minute. It's crazy how you go from like not having anything to play to like having too much to play and not having any time to play it. I want to finish up Wrath Classic. I kind of want to play retail, but I'm just kind of like keep that on the back burner. BattleBit, Farlight 84 is pretty good. What else we got? I want to play Halls of Torment and the League of Legends Arena. And what was that other one? Oh yeah, Diablo 4 Season 1. That's the big news today. Let's see, do I even remember how to play? I haven't played since they added the whatchamacallit, the Nightmare Dungeon teleports and all that shit.
Thank you.
My burden is too great.
The one thing that I absolutely need to do, but I'm not gonna do it, is I need to get the rest of my altars of Liliths. And I'm so close to doing this, might as well just do it. But I when I did all of them, like back to back, it burned me out, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I have a Nightmare 100. Let's see, the 40. Wow, that feels so good. Oh, just be able to teleport. Okay, do I remember how to play? Might be too loud for you guys, huh? How's that? Is that better? Uh-oh.
I'm out of mana.
Oh, I hate these guys that root you. Wait, this isn't the dungeon? I thought it would like to. Okay. Alright. That's a new mistake. That you guys can tell how long it's been, huh? Here we go. What is this? Tier 40. Let's get it. Watch me get Shaco first drop, dude. That would be so sick. And if I could do it while streaming, oh. Oh. That would be insane. I feel like they made Meteor bigger. Actually, I don't know. So anything over level 80 would drop a Shaco, right? And these guys are level 94. I'm level 80. Why is it not immobilizing him? I got one of these things. Got 10 minutes. 10 minutes till the show begins. Hi. Oh. Fallen lunatic? Wait, what? Wait, how did I die? Did someone explode on me? I am confused. Sure as hell wasn't this guy. Oh wait, fallen lunatic. Yes, they did explode on me. I guess it one shot. That's what I thought was my meteor. The fallen lunatic exploding. I thought that was my meteor. Second. 9 minutes. Definitely will have. Wait. Did I not grab the thing? Awesome. Alright. Now we have it. Oh! Dude, those wraths, the wraiths. Can't lose now. Stupid wraiths. I think there needs to be like 5 times the amount of fucking elites. And like less of these like random bullshit guys. Make everything elite, you know? No regular mobs. What is the announcement? 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Oh! Come on, Shaco. Any believers? Oh, it's a curse shrine. Oh, buddy. Yeah, we should be able to finish this. How you doing today, Sinisters? Sinners, Demise? What about that? How you doing today? Why are they sending me one oppressor at a time? This is the Ice Shards sorcerer. I can't believe they're just sending me one guy at a time. It's insane. So it capitalizes on using the unique. Hold on, let me. I should just. I'll show you about it after this. There we go. The unique legendary or the unique that when you teleport, it like sucks them in. Final Fantasy 16, dude. I don't have a PlayStation. But I'm planning on getting that when it comes to PC. It looks really fun. There it is. 3 minutes. Okay. Whoa. It didn't pop up over here. Thank you for the follow. Jessica Septal. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, so we're live streaming on Kick and Twitch right now at the same time. So what do I upgrade this? Wow. Gotta get PS5 soon. I know. So this is the Ice Shards build. If you're familiar with the Sorcerer, we use the Ice Shards and the Firebolt. So basically, the Firebolt enchantment makes sure that the enemies are always burning. Even when I do Ice Shards, it catches them on fire. It's Chef Joe 925, same as YouTube. And then this one automatically fires Ice Shards when they're frozen. And the Paragon is, I think, too complicated to explain. I still have talent points that I need to get, right? But I use the Meteor with Enhanced Meteor and then Immobilize, because when they're immobilized, they take more damage. And all, like, the Frost synergies, we do Shatter, so after once they are done being frozen, 25% of the damage dealt while frozen explodes in AoE. And then Frost Nova is so good because it makes them vulnerable and freezes them. And then I used Ice Armor, Flame Shield, Teleport, and Ice Shards. And then we only get 1 point in this just so we can use it for the enhancement. But yeah, we're pretty deep in the Paragon, but yeah. Alright, let's check it out. Let's check it out. You guys ready for this? Yeah. Huh? Yeah, no problem. If you want more information about it, I it should be on maxroll.gg, and it's the Ice Shards build. I haven't made a video about this build because it's not mine. I copied it from someone else. Oh, here we go.
That's it?
Please.
That's how you open? Hello.
I'm gonna do that every single time.
Please don't like delay the show like 30 minutes talking about nothing.
Developer update live stream. My name is Adam Fletcher. I am the community director for the Diablo franchise. Got some wonderful people here.
Narrative director, wow.
Yeah, well, not part of the wonderful crew, I guess.
Yeah, he decided to insert himself as of yesterday. So,
What is the power? If you have power, you should use it whenever possible, and I've decided to. So
we have Rod here, who is, of course, the general manager of the Diablo,
Rod Ferguson, right? You guys got it.
Universe.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way.
He's the general manager.
Can't use the word franchise.
Pierre's not here now.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. And of course, we have Chris Leal,
lead UX designer on Immortal,
and Ryan Quinn,
narrative designer on Immortal.
So,
Immortal.
Actually, starting off today's show.
Wait.
Some Diablo Immortal
conversations.
Also,
No.
Mention we're using new fancy mics
Skip.
today.
Let's see the chat. Hold
We were
on.
joking around, and I called him the Britney Spears mic.
Right.
Ooh. Be right back for D4. Boo. Skip. Nobody cares. Boo.
Rod, but is not wearing one of them.
It doesn't take a genius to see
On the video?
size of my head, and the ability to put that little wire around this size of noggin is impossible. So therefore,
How's that?
I passed.
Am I too loud?
But
I'm
he
kind
does
of
have a
yelling.
really good impression of Britney Spears.
I could turn it up
I am
even
not
more.
doing it now.
Oh.
I am not doing it.
Okay, maybe we can get it out of him.
I'll knot my shirt later. It'll be good.
Maybe we can get it out of him during Q&A. Someone asked that question in Twitch chat. We'll make sure to bring that up during Q&A. And
Great.
there you go. You're just on the spot and you have to answer it. So
I think it's important that, like, last time you clarified what we were doing was the campfire, which is more of a casual, we're just kind of giving updates. You know, we just want to be able to talk to the community.
Yes.
This is more of a developer stream, so it's a bit more official.
Yes.
But one of the things we wanted to recognize too is that, like, as a family of games, there's lots of cool stuff happening within in Diablo, and so we want to take. We don't always want to just be focused on just D4. We want, anytime there's something big or really interesting happening within Diablo, we want to be able to talk about it. You know, I could imagine we're going to have a season 29 conversation for Diablo 3 at some point in the future. And so one of the things we're going to wanted to do today was not just talk about, you know, we are definitely going to talk about season 1 on Diablo 4. And for some reason,
like
Adam has structured this.
Diablo Immortal is a waste of resource.
We'll get there, trust us, but it's going to take a minute. But what we really want to look at as well is we want to talk about.
Know your audience.
A little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about what's the preseason before we go into season 1. We're going to talk about what's going on with D4 today, because we actually have some news about today. Another tease, didn't mean that. And,
Tangent.
and then we want to talk a little bit about Diablo Immortal because something pretty incredible is happening in Diablo Immortal, which is in nearly
Hey,
a
Sinister
decade, we're having
Demise,
our
thank you so
first
much for that
new
follow. Sorry, I don't know. I
Diablo
keep calling you
character class
Sinister.
being
It's
revealed.
Sinner's
And we wanted to reveal it
Demise.
here.
Thank you so
on
much. I
this
appreciate
stream.
that.
So, you know, one of the
Sinner's
things about,
Demise.
great things about Blizzard
Thank you.
is the SFD team, Story and Franchise, and Blizzard Video, and everything that they do around cinematics. And we thought, how could we introduce a new character class without having a kick-ass video to go with it? So,
Oh,
without
a
further
video?
ado,
Better
may
be
we
at least a
present to you
video.
the new Diablo character class coming to Diablo Immortal very, very soon.
What is it? Paladin? No, they have Paladin. All right, let's see.
The darkness has always been with us.
Oh, vampire?
Humanity is right to fear it.
Yeah, this is Diablo Immortal.
The darkness wants to consume you and all you love. But my kind claim its power
Oh,
and wield it in defiance.
what is that? Bro.
Humanity is right to fear the darkness. I am a blood knight, and the
Blood Knight.
fears me.
What is that? Bro. Vampire? Bro. I don't care. This is sick. Like a vampire, yeah. He's even got like vampire form. But yeah, the fact that it's in Diablo Immortal, July 13th, that's the bad part. But
And there we have it. The new class coming to Diablo and Diablo Immortal.
Blood
it's
Knight.
the Blood Knight.
July 13th. That's
July
like
13th.
a little over a week away.
Exactly.
Sounds like there might have been some encoding issues.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that some people are talking about there's a little bit of hitching on it and so forth. I will say that we actually do have that trailer that will be on a blog on DiabloImmortal.com immediately after the stream.
Seems good.
So people
I
can
mean,
actually
I don't
check
know
it out.
how-
It'll be on YouTube.
I
along
played
with all
Diablo
the
Immortal,
details that
but I
we're
don't know-
about to talk about.
I played it when it first
Because
came
I
out,
get
but I don't
ahead
know
of
how it
myself.
is now.
But obviously, first new class to the Diablo universe in nearly 10 years.
Wow.
I think there's a lot of questions in regards to like the story and so forth behind the Blood Knight. Ryan,
Oh, you could have told by his shirt.
Give us a little bit of background regarding.
If
the,
you
the
looked
Blood
at his
Knight
shirt,
itself.
you probably
Yeah,
could
sure.
have,
So
you know,
I think
maybe, I
historically,
don't know.
when we released DI, we released it with these sort of 6 very, very familiar, very stalwart classes that all of us love, that many of us have been playing for decades. And it's great to kind of indulge in that nostalgia. It's great to get that dopamine hit of playing a classic. But after 6 classes, it left us with the opportunity to do something that felt really new and different. To do a supernatural class that's kind of monstrous, that does things that our other dark
Yeah.
classes like the Necromancer and the Demon Hunter don't do. And so we're really, really stoked about the opportunity to
I think it's a good
release the
idea.
Blood Knight on everybody.
Nice. Yeah, I know.
I would
like,
love for it to come
obviously
to,
everyone's kind of seeing the Blood Knight and they're thinking like is this,
Diablo
like,
4.
vampiric in some sort of way, or like how does this fit in with the actual lore
Right.
within Diablo?
Right, so the fine details are Blood Knights and vampires are intertwined. On Sanctuary, vampires are kind of like living plagues. They go from hunting ground to hunting ground, they kill people, they bite people, and sometimes people who they've bitten, they suffer this monstrous transformation. They start to devolve into what we call thralls, kind of like lesser vampiric beings, long teeth, hunger for blood, all that stuff. And a Blood Knight is a person who, through means of an ancient ritual,
You could tell
has
this guy
that
is really
curse
passionate.
of thraldom arrested inside them, frozen essentially in place. They get some advantages, but they get some drawbacks too.
Oops,
What do you
sorry.
mean the curse of turning into a thrall is a drawback in a way?
Well, Their thraldom is essentially on pause. So basically what happens is a Blood Knight, also preternaturally strong and fast, can see in the dark, can smell blood from a mile away, doesn't age anymore, as you've seen in the concept art, very, very fancy. But on the flip side, you know, they have these blood red eyes, they have black veins in their face,
Right.
makes people uncomfortable. And
don't see
maybe,
why.
yeah, I know, right? And sort of more pivotally than that, you know, deep inside their soul, there is an abomination,
Blood
a
Knight.
monstrous darkness that hungers for violence.
I like it.
And in order to tamp that down, in order to slow their transformation further, they have to perform a ritual. That keepsake that you saw in our cinematic character's right hand, the little thing on the chain.
Oh, the chain, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically their lifeline.
I see.
So
Like
like
a link to their past.
yeah. It's got a memento within of the last place that they were kind of truly human.
Right.
And so every morning,
pretty
noon,
cool.
and night, they're doing ablutions with this thing to hopefully
What's
continue
ablution?
to keep the darkness at bay. But you know, it's a process.
Evolution,
The
abolish.
ritual, it's hearsay. You know, it's been passed down for hundreds of years, and for basically every Blood Knight, you know, it may fail at some point. All Blood Knights are doomed to one day succumb to their curse.
And they don't know if that's 1 day, 1 year, 1,000 years.
Could
they
be
don't know.
centuries,
Right. yeah.
right? They're very, very
That's
long
sick.
ways. What they do know, and what they pledge on, is that they're going to
pretty
use
sick.
all of the time they have left to push back the darkness, and ultimately for them,
I like
since
it.
that is such an uncertain question, it's really about their inner sense of balance. Can I do enough good
Right.
to make up for the evil that will rise when I'm gone?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out because we had the art up there earlier, and that art is gorgeous looking. At the same time, they're very pretty. I've been joking about it. I'm like, oh, look, they're so pretty.
If you
It's like, yeah, it's like a
monster, you'd want
vampire.
to stop
Well, it's
there,
funny
right?
because they're
Like the
very, like, they're
elegantness.
very like gorgeous here, and then they turn into the abomination, which is really funny to see. So it's like a complete like opposite
Well,
of what it is.
I mean, you mentioned the abomination. I think we saw the Blood Knight turn into this creature during that. So what
Like the
actually
stick
is
guy.
going on here? Like this is a. I guess Chris will talk eventually about like how an abomination comes to me. But this is basically them tapping into what's inside them to change form.
Yeah, they're letting the curse off the leash just a little bit. It's going to grant them extreme power in the short term.
This is the Bruce Banner Hulk thing.
Yeah, but maybe there's a little anime teardrop there of like, do I come back from this?
Right. Okay. Got it.
Awesome. Well,
I like that guy.
The Blood Knight, obviously, like it's new class. How does it fit, Chris, into the like a gameplay style? Like, what if you're playing at Blood Knight? What can you expect?
It's like brawler,
the
melee?
style to be as a person that's actually jumping into Diablo.
Yeah, so the Blood Knight is actually a melee hybrid class, meaning there's tons of up-close combat with
Maybe a little bit of
polearms.
magic.
However, they have a host of shadow and blood abilities they can use to manipulate the battlefield in their favor. I think the drawback of Blood Knights might be that players that start playing it might feel that their mobility is limited. However, they have tons of legendary essences to help them improve the ability to close the gap on enemies, as well as life-stealing abilities to help them sustain themselves in lengthy combat sequences.
Got it. So like in combat more often, close combat. So they're essentially
Yeah,
doing more
that's what I
damage,
was
but then they have
saying.
abilities themselves to
It-
actually essentially drain.
you could have
resiliency
like
life from others, essentially
maybe
replenish their
guessed
life,
it if you were like
while they're in combat.
I don't know, but yeah, that's a
The-
pretty cool
the,
shirt. He's
the
got the
kebab
Blood Knight.
attack, as I like to call
Yes,
it.
the skewer.
The skewer attack is
Maybe
my
that was
favorite
on the
thing
store
right
and
now
I just
of
didn't
so
notice it.
What's happening there? We saw it in the trailer. We see it here as well. Is where they're basically able to stab an enemy.
I mean, I like that.
Smash it around like as if on the end of a hammer.
I like
so-
that ability. That's sick.
Chris
That's
is
sick.
like, yeah, that's basically
That's
it.
pretty
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
But it actually has a stun as well, right? It's not just the attack on the one thing that you skewered. It actually it has an area effect.
This
Yeah,
looks
so The
good.
Blood Knight stabs their polearm forward into the closest enemy, then swings overhead the
That's-
enemy and slams it into the ground, stunning everyone in a small AoE. And there are also
Wow,
legendary
that's sick,
essences
dude.
that let you lunge forward or actually leap to perform the slam.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's awesome.
And then I know, like, of course, with every
Skewer
class
them.
in
Bow!
Immortal, they all have different ultimates depending
Yeah,
on their
there's
primary
gonna be
attack
season
skills and
1
so forth. Like,
news.
what kind of 2 different ultimates can we
Nobody really
expect
cares
with the Blood
about the
Knight?
Diablo
Yeah, I
Immortal.
could talk a bit about the primary attacks. The first is
I guess they're
Ravage.
doing this
They're
first.
basically
But
swinging
yeah,
the pole
there's
arm
gonna
around
be
and
a
make it
announcement
combo.
date.
Right here is the ultimate, where they become a 5-hit combo with a stun at the end. And
Dual
the-
wielding pole arms. That's I like.
And the other primary attack they have is
I'm
called
kind of
Shadow
sad they're
Damage.
even like
It's,
updating
quite
this
a
game,
unique
dude. I
one.
feel like
the-
it's just
the
taking
first
away
Immortal where
resources.
The in melee range, the Blood Knight will do a slash, and for enemies that are further away, they'll actually throw the dagger forward. And there are legendary essences that add damage over time or make the dagger ricochet.
Nice. So you can essentially, it's good room clear type of abilities, is what I'm hearing. So if you have
Okay.
a ton of mobs in front of you, especially if the daggers are ricocheting and you mentioned piercing and so forth with the ultimate and everything, you can essentially clear out whole rooms with that. So it's awesome to hear. I know, as you mentioned beforehand, tons of legendary essences and
I
everything. that
played
are
when it first
associated
came
to kind
out.
of modify skills. I know, and we're even seeing here. This is like the abomination. That we were
Whenever it
talking
came out,
about
it came
beforehand.
out.
Why would I want to become the
Maybe
abomination?
like a year or
What do
two
I get
ago?
from that?
Yeah,
I
so
played
I'll talk
it.
about the abomination a bit.
Beat
way
the
it works
story.
is it is a transformative skill.
I thought it was really good, except for the pay-to-win
enemies
aspect.
to fill the bar, much like your ultimate.
Right.
However, it
But
happens much more often.
it's a Diablo
and
game.
It then transforms your entire.
It has a
skill
good
bar
story.
into,
It's
a new primary attack.
I definitely
followed by
recommend
2,
trying it.
specific
Just
skills,
don't
a
fall for
blood
like the
rush,
pay to
where
win
the
kind of
Blood Knight
stuff,
actually
because
dashes
it's
forward in a
100%
ball of blood.
pay to
And then
win.
there's a 3-hit combo attack where
You can play it on your phone
on the
too,
last
so
hit, they
that,
fly into the air and slam the ground.
that's pretty
stunning
cool
everyone.
about it.
A lot of stuns.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome to see. I think the
Play on PC too.
with this update that's coming out on the 13th and the Blood Knight itself, and there are like even other components and that are kind of going to be coming with this actual update. Do you guys have any like additional information on?
Well, there's ways to play it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so the things that's really interesting. Like, I think having a new character class introduced on basically the anniversary of Diablo Immortal is really exciting. Like, it's a great way
Oh,
to
there you
celebrate
go.
1 year that Immortal has been.
One
It's hard to
year
believe It's
ago.
already been a year. It's crazy. But so having a new character, but I've been like a whirlwind barbarian for a year now, and loving that. And so now I'm going to obviously. Well, one of the great things about Immortal is that you can class change. So I can take my Paragon
Really?
500 Barbarian. I know that's not high. Thank you very much. I can take my Paragon 500 Barbarian and turn it into a Blood Knight. Yes. Because there's basically
Yes.
3 ways. We have the player who's been playing for a year, like myself. We have the new player, and we have the test driver. Right, is the way to think about that. So maybe you can go through that.
Yeah, totally. So if
I didn't
you're
know about
brand new to
that.
Immortal and have never played before, you can play the Blood Knight right out of the gate, create a new character completely free, and start with the main story complete with custom Blood Knight VO lines for all of the main quests. And for players like Rod, who have been playing for a while and want to convert to this class, I'm happy to say that we've made some major improvements to class change. Strength and intelligence will now convert properly.
I know it's a huge request that a lot of people are asking for. Yes.
Yes, it's going to be great. And also, players will be able to, during the event, change to the Blood Knight.
In Diablo
on a
2,
1-day cooldown, and also revert back infinitely. So if you decide you
Like,
don't like playing the Blood Knight, you can
the
revert
difference.
the day
So
of,
from the
or if
original
you wanna try
Diablo
it again
1, they only
tomorrow,
had 3
you can go
classes,
ahead and
right?
Change back to the Blood Knight.
Barbarian.
And lastly, I wanna
Amazon
talk about the
Sorcerer.
Crimson Plane event.
So and then
for
in
Immortal
Diablo
players that are
2,
familiar with Fractured
they
Plane,
added those
you'll-
3
there will be a
classes, but then
special
they also
Crimson Plane
added
event where
Paladin.
So I I think a lot. maybe you don't know what
Necromancer.
Fractured Plane- So maybe just what's the 5-second version of what is Fractured Plane?
So Fractured Plane is basically a roguelite inside of Immortal where you're able to try out
speaking
all
of
the skills and abilities and build towards
I think that's it. And then when they added the expansion,
try out different
they
skills.
added the
Basically start with
assassin
a
and
fresh
druid.
class, and so you're taking your character. Like I have a very specific build with very specific
Right.
gear. But if I wanted to go play Fractured
then in
Planes,
Diablo
it says, oh, you're a
3,
barbarian. Here's some random
they had-
skills.
they added
See how
the
far
Demon
you can get
Hunter.
with this, and you build up your gear and
Necromancer,
stuff as you're
Demon
playing
Hunter.
through this roguelike experience. Yeah.
Barbarian, of
And
course,
so
wizard
now for the Blood
instead
Knight
of sorcerer,
introduction, you've created Crimson Plains, which is a version of
and then
the same
the
experience.
Demon
to go and
Hunter
test
instead
drive all the
of
different Blood Knight
Amazon.
skills.
Exactly. So you'll
And
be able to try
then
out different
Witch
skills
Doctor
and legendary
in Diablo
instances
3
without actually committing
instead
to changes
of-
the class. So just try it out, see if you like it, and
Well,
if you do, there's always
and then
class
later in Diablo
Nice.
3,
Nice.
they
That's
released the
awesome to hear. So
Necromancer.
we have other things
But
like
you
I
had to pay
mentioned that
for
are
it.
coming in this actual update. I know that.
And then in
for
Diablo
any
4,
new player that's coming in, of course, they can create a Blood Knight, how we mentioned beforehand, customize
the
it,
druid.
and it's
So Diablo
completely
3 didn't
free,
have a
and then,
druid.
Of course, any existing character can do class
And
changes if
then
they want, or they can create.
I think they're gonna bring. Oh, then they had Crusader in Diablo 3. It wasn't called Paladin.
That's going to be coming in.
So there's like
update,
lore things
as
about
well.
like Demon
And
Hunter
then we
versus
even
Amazon.
have, just other
But
like,
I'm pretty sure
items
they're gonna
associated
add
with
the
this
Paladin
specific patch that
to
will be
Diablo
coming as
Full set
well.
of legendaries for the Blood
Exactly.
Knight, too,
Yeah,
which is
and
great.
we're actually going to be
Or
listing out
Crusader.
every single legendary
The blog, yeah.
that is available for the Blood Knight in our
So
on our
yeah,
blog
to
immediately
answer your
after the
question
stream.
simply,
So,
yes.
you guys can check out the cinematic trailer that we showed off for the Blood Knight earlier on that blog, and of course read all the details about what's coming in this update that is hitting on the 13th of July. So soon. It's crazy. We do.
Sorry.
We're super stoked. The cinematic is amazing, by the way. I just want to
Why are you,
highlight.
for people who didn't get to see it in full frame rate, you're basically rubbing their noses right now.
Essentially, I'm
Go watch it again, please.
See it in the Blizzard Cinematics team. Amazing team. That cinematic is great. Nothing
Hey,
like
Kate,
seeing blood splattered
Sipped that
all
water
over
like it
the
was
stained
vodka.
glass.
He was like,
It's Diablo. So, it makes perfect sense. It's great. But we are super stoked. So yeah, July 13th is when it's going to be coming out, and then of course,
July 13th.
Again, check DiabloImmortal.com immediately
Cool.
after the stream. We'll have a blog up there for people to check out. All the
Yeah,
details.
congratulations, guys, on the
Yep.
year. It's been an amazing year for Immortal. And I think people who maybe you tried it at launch and
Diablo
haven't gone
Immortal
back to
made
take
a
look
lot
at
of
it,
fucking money.
Basically every quarter we do major updates and really change the game. So the ability to craft set items, the ability to take your duplicate legendaries and turn that into a currency so that you can make your current legend, stronger, and the way that you do dungeons now.
I
and-
don't know.
and the tower, the clan play, there's just so much else going on. So it's a
They got a
free
lot
game if you
going
wanna
on at
go check it
Diablo
out
Immortal.
just to see all the changes. Like I said, there's been in a year. It's complete. To me, it's a completely different game in the sense of
I might have to go
different
back
ways
and
that you
check
can
out the
approach
Blood Knight.
the content, which is exciting. But hearing the fact that you fully recorded all VO for the Blood Knight for the campaign, I think it'll be exciting to go back and start over.
Yeah, it's about 2,000 lines in total. We've got a pair of really, really awesome voice actors, Abby Trott and Ben Prendergast. Absolutely killed it as the Blood Knight. It's just pure haughtiness and bloodlust and action all the way through. They've got some interesting takes on. I was going to say the name of the villain, our Act 3 villain in Darkwood. Some interesting perspectives there. But yeah, I don't think there's ever really been a better time
What's
to
his name?
re-roll
Henry
to start
Cavill?
a new run through the main story.
Awesome. Well, thank you. guys
Henry
very much, and
Cavill
congratulations.
is the Blood
Thanks so
Knight.
much, Rod. We're stoked.
And we're going to be now switching over to D4 content. We're actually going to take a really short break because we got to swap people.
Break?
This room's only so big. And we also need mics off of people and everything. But we're going to be swapping in into our Diablo
All right,
4
boys, this is
segment.
it. Diablo
we'll
4
see you
news
here in
time.
a minute or so.
A minute or so. Okay, grab your coffee. They're gonna play the Blood Knight trailer again. Or what are they gonna play? This is old. Look at that. I guess I'm gonna fill up my coffee. I mean, this cinematic is really cool. This is so cool, man. See him?
May we fight true in his holy name.
That's so many demons, dude. Why did they play the full one? This is the other one. Alright, they better be ready. Come on. And action.
And we're back.
Hey.
What happened to
That's
the
gonna be
awkward
my
hello?
intro.
You're supposed to go, hello.
That's going to be my intro
I'm
for
technically
everything.
not back.
Wait.
Well, you are technically back. I mean, you were in other
I'm
streams
new.
and other
Oh,
times.
correct.
I'm not back. I'm new.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Tim is new. Tim also has the best voice in the world.
Yeah. Wow.
Lead game
Tim
producer.
is just going to talk for the rest of the
We haven't seen him yet.
Okay,
And-
I didn't prepare for that at all. All right.
Surprise.
Maybe you should actually introduce people.
Yes,
Or...
I will introduce people. We are now joined by our wonderful Diablo 4 developers. We have Tim Ismay. May introduce you.
Hello, Tim Ismay. I'm one of the lead producers.
But Rod
on Diablo
Ferguson
4,
is kinda
specifically
cringe.
focused on seasons. I say that because if you ask me questions outside of the seasons context, I have no idea what's going on.
And you said
Got rid
plural.
of the other Joe.
Wait, there's
plural.
more than one
I
season.
am trying to
Tim?
build more than
Than
one
one
season.
season.
Yeah.
There is more than one season. That's going to be. We're revealing that.
Or
What
that's
if they
job
what if they
security.
announce a $60 expansion
Actually
today?
asking for it. Yeah.
Wait, we're supposed to be thinking about job security? Damn it.
And we have
Oh,
a
yeah.
familiar face.
Joey
Yes,
P.
Yes, I'm Joe Pipora. I'm the associate game director for the live service, and I'm excited to talk about season 1 today, at last.
But first,
But first.
Oh, but first, that's right.
because Adam has built
can't-
everything possible
we
to talk
can't
about
start-
except the season.
right,
We
yeah.
can never start talking about seasons until we talk about something else first. But there are cool things to actually talk about.
Correct. Obviously, it's been a little over a month since Diablo 4's launched.
It's only been a month.
Is it? Well, if you
No,
include
but you're right. It is.
Yeah.
Like I always the amount of
Okay.
feedback we get about like, hey, this thing, and you're like, it's been like 5 weeks. Like,
Exactly.
give us a second.
Exactly.
So
It has been a month, a little bit more than a month since Diablo 4 has
wait,
actually
how did you
launched.
guys get a season done in 4 weeks? That's incredible.
We started it well before the game launched.
Oh, that's smart. That's-
We actually released it.
We're extremely good at our job.
Wait, so you
I don't want to get in
started
the weeds,
before the
everybody.
game
I don't
launched?
want to get in the weeds, everybody, but like we did start before the game launched to make sure that we could actually release.
I thought you were just
something.
gonna say zombies are really easy to make, and so therefore it was.
Yeah,
oh my
obviously,
god.
that's what it is. Okay.
Also, people are saying that your mic is low, Mr. Joey P.
My
no.
mic
Yeah,
is low.
so I don't
Okay,
know if
I'll bring it in a little
we'll
bit.
fix that. I promise. Live
It's-
broadcast,
I don't-
everyone.
I don't think
I
so.
can project everybody.
Yeah,
That's
he
what's
can-
going to
He
take.
can start screaming.
Just scream at everybody.
And you haven't seen
So I
Joey P
interrupted.
scream.
So you.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're talking
Sorry.
about the 5 week. I was just shocked by the 5 week thing, but anyway. So yes, it's been 5
so
weeks.
obviously it's been 5 weeks since we launched. We've had numerous updates to the game, hot fixes, patches.
Look at him, he's
We
doing a
actually
little
had
slight middle
campfire
finger.
chat in between.
Oh, he missed it.
Where we talked about
He was like,
even
middle finger.
a big update that was coming before season
13
1.
page.
Yes,
patch
13
notes?
page. Which people are like, well, that must have been like 14.5, double spaced. And I'm like, maybe it was. But it still was very big. It was
13
like
page
11
update?
pages and it went on the actual site.
All right.
But,
Come on.
We've addressed a lot of feedback and
Quit
everything
stalling.
related to the game. We still have more feedback that we're actually going to be addressing. And I will say that later this afternoon, there is going to be another patch, climb patch, surprise, spoilers,
Wow.
or announcement. We will have patch 104. That's going to be hitting all platforms later this afternoon. There will be patch notes posted this afternoon. Very much not as chonky as 103, but it does address additional feedback and issues that people have been reporting over to us
got
in the actual
one?
patch notes.
Come on, put you on the spot.
Funny enough, do I actually have this printed out?
I don't think you can say that 1.04 is coming this afternoon and not give an example of something we're fixing in 104.
Oh,
I know
someone's
that
gonna
they are
screenshot
actually
and zoom in.
doing a gameplay fix in regards to, or a gameplay adjustment to Helltide Chess, so that Helltide Chess will now actually drop unique items.
Yeah, have the chance to drop unique items, but yes.
Sorry. Have a chance, not like a guarantee.
So relax.
I thought they already did.
Just like,
Yeah.
but,
So that's
Did they not?
okay. That sounds stupid for me as the GM to go like, I thought they already could drop uniques with Helltide Chest. So I was mistaken.
Yeah.
It's so there are some content types that the rewards are not dropping like unique items from it. So like,
Hello,
like Whisper bounty caches, for example, don't have
Happy
a chance
birthday.
to drop unique items when you turn in
Hearts
for
in
those.
chat from Melissa. It's her birthday.
Yeah, but I think that there's
She's over on
opportunities for us to
YouTube
continue to
chatting.
like, try to expose this more as we talk about these things moving forward. But yeah, this is an opportunity now. We want to make sure that when players are trying to target farm for certain kinds of uniques for their builds they need to grab in order to bring those things online, that those Whisper caches really can be used as a way to or not Whisper caches, the tortured gifts you can get from the Hell Tides events. Those are really good opportunities to go and try to go for those.
And that's this afternoon. So once 104 goes out, once your uniques can drop in.
That's right. That's right. That's this afternoon.
Yep, and I will say, like, we've been getting, like we've mentioned, I think many times already in this stream, we have been getting a lot of feedback related to bugs, issues, or even just like general gameplay feedback, and it's something that the team has been reading through and getting through, and those are things that, you know, obviously we're addressing as we get through all these different updates in the future and everything.
We're building a big backlog. Like, this is the thing, I was making the joke about they started before, like seasons started before we launched, just to try to set expectations. Like, we're moving as fast as we can, but we have to move also safely, because if we move too fast, we can kind of vibrate the game out of stability. And so we're trying to be as reactive as we can, but in a safe way, and knowing we have a large backlog.
When?
Season 1 was already well in flight.
Is season 1.
Season 2 is also very much well in flight. And so we're trying to make those adjustments. So we hear the feedback, so please don't take the lack of instantaneous response as in we don't hear you. We hear you. We hear about, I want to lock my inventory. We hear you about all the different types of things that you're giving us feedback on, and we appreciate that feedback, and we're doing our best to address it as quickly and as safely as possible. So, so just trying to manage expectations that sometimes it might feel, but again, it's only been 5 weeks. This is a game that we are going to, we're going to support for years to come. This is a foundation of, we said the launch was the beginning, not the end. And so we're going to be continuing to support this game through many seasons and through expansions and what have you. And so please just allow us some time to catch up and work through our backlog to get to those items that we know that you care about.
And I do want to note that we're, as we were in preseason, we were obviously shooting out a lot of updates really quickly, and this is something we talked about a little bit on the campfire chat, but we are going to get into a more systematic way of being able to update the game, so it's not just going to be like ad hoc, hey guys, what a new client patch type of thing, unless there's an emergency. But yeah, people start to find a more some familiarity with how we actually update the game around seasons and client patches that may occur, whether they are in between or only on seasons and so forth. So we'll have that actually communicated out, and people then know what to expect going forward when we do have different updates or different patches that actually do the game.
I think it's really important that we have now talked about things we did in the preseason.
Oh my God!
We've made a number of changes on the balance side. We've responded to a lot of player feedback. We've got 1.04 coming out later on this afternoon. But Adam, what do the people want to hear about?
Zombies! Season 1. So we're actually now going to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. But we do want to talk about season 1. Season 1 is coming, boys. And we actually have a really cool
release
trailer
date
to show off.
Trailers.
We jump into it. So hit it, Rich and Matt.
There it is. Oh, please don't tell me it's a still motion art.
I am writing to you because although a great evil is receding from Sanctuary, a new festering curse now spreads its corruption across the land. More dangerous, more
it is the still motion
than I could have imagined. I have found a way to stop this plague, to rip the dark power of these monsters from their very core and turn it to our advantage in destroying them. But I cannot do this alone. My allies have fallen. My strength is dwindling. The Malignant are relentless and without mercy.
The Malignant?
I need help. I need you.
Season of the Malignant. What's chat say? Question mark? 720. Oh my God, that's 14 days. That's 2 weeks.
And there we have it. The first season of Diablo 4 coming out on July 20th. The season of the Malignant. Lots to talk about there.
What do you guys think?
So we're actually going to jump into it. No, I'm just kidding. But obviously, a lot of people want to know what's going on. You know, we even teased it on social
2
media
weeks
yesterday, where something was corrupting Sanctuary. I guess Tim, Joe, like explain to us what's going on now.
So season 1, the season of the Malignant. So our very, very first season in the game is going to basically take place after the events of Diablo 4. So after the redacted and the redacted have happened and the player has finished redacting the redacted, once all that's out of the way, that's when things are really going to kick off in the world of Sanctuary. Kind of step off from that point. And there is a new threat that's basically emerged in Sanctuary. There's this malignance. There's this corruption that's begun to spread throughout like the hearts of the creatures throughout the world, and that's everything from like beasts to humans to demons themselves. Everything in between can be corrupted by this malignance as beginning to take root and fester inside inside people. And it's basically kind of like it's changing them. Right, it's turning into these bloodthirsty fiends. Effectively, they're going out and trying to destroy everything.
As opposed to what they were
threatening
before.
Sanctuary at a very, very, very high level. The player's going to come across a new character that they're going to introduce to over the course of the season named Cormond. Who we actually saw in the trailer there. Cormond is there he is. Cormond is an ex member of the Cathedral of Light. He used to be a priest of the Cathedral of Light.
Priest
and
class?
He's taken upon himself to start trying to dive deeper into this new malignant threat that's risen
that would be
over the course of these days following the events of Diablo 4's main campaign. But he's finding himself maybe a little out of his depth. You say, Tim? Like, what do you think about Cormond?
Yeah, he's trying to fix the problem on his own, and then I think when he's not 100% successful, he comes to the player and says, "Hey, you were really helpful in the past. Could I get a hand from you?" So that's kind of where things start.
Yeah, he's very. I think that you'll find like he's a person. Everything in the room is on fire, but he's sitting there like, "I can fix it. You know, we can find a way to solve this, right?" But he's a great new character that the player get introduced over the course of the season. But that's really just where things kick off. You know, and players will start the season of Malignant actually in Kyovashad, and they're going to gain access to like the beginning of the story of the season pretty much right away. You know, so you're able to start off right at level 1, like jumping out of the gate and be able to start like following the thread of this new season storyline.
And we're going to talk about the transition from
that's cool.
the current Eternal Realm into the season afterwards. We're going to get through the season information first.
Yeah.
Well, then I know people are really curious about what happens to my current character. How do I think about that transition? But we'll get to that after we get through the season details.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So that's
the
high level, like what's happening in the world of Sanctuary.
Theme, right?
That's the theme,
we have a seasonal theme with a seasonal story, but like what about the
story?
mechanics?
Okay, I like that.
On top of the theme, there's usually the seasonal mechanics. So what's the mechanics that we're looking at?
We're trying to add more stuff to seasons that appeal to everything that a player does in Diablo 4. So we are adding story, the elements of what you're going to find out about what is actually happening to Sanctuary, but then we want things that are new challenges for the player, things that you can fight that maybe you haven't fought before, as well as new powers, things that you can build your character in a different way, a different direction than maybe you did in any previous season, or in this case in the pre-season when you had just the Eternal Realm. So hitting all of those notes, we're starting with a mechanic around the threat. So what is the threat? The Malignant. We've been talking about it a lot. Where does the Malignant actually show up? That actually shows up throughout the entire game. When you're playing in the world of Sanctuary, anytime you encounter any elite monster, there's a chance that it will spawn as a malignant version of that monster. So that malignant version is going to have these growths on it and some additional power. After you kill it, a heart will actually appear, the exposed malignant heart that was causing this. If you then interact with that heart by using a cage of binding, it now starts a ritual where it's pulling all the malignants in and a new, even more powerful version of that elite is spawned. Why would you want this? How does this help you? Well, if you can manage to beat that even more powerful version where you see these other minions are now helping it, these other malignant creatures, now it drops the caged heart. You actually put all of that malignant power into this cage that is an item that you can use that is kind of like a gem. It's like a gem in the sense that you can socket it into gear. It is very much not like a gem in the sense that it has an enormous amount of power. Think of a legendary item, the kind of power that's in there. It's like that, maybe even a little bit more than that. So you can take these malignant hearts, you can socket them into your jewelry, and that gives you these kind of stupid new broken builds that are hopefully balanced, hopefully, but they are extremely powerful. So these are new options of how you can play the game.
Yeah, so this is really, really cool, right? So
This
one of the things
is,
we want to do with each season, to Tim's point, is we want to make sure that we're providing
what is it?
new
BFA
ways
all
for
over
players
again.
to engage with Diablo 4, new problems for them to solve, new ways for them to customize their characters and kind of do new cool stuff.
Right.
And that's what Malignant Hearts and the powers associated with Malignant Hearts really allow us to do. So one of these things, so yes, you can take a Malignant Heart that you've managed to collect from one of the consumed that you managed to kill, one of these super malignant creatures that you've killed this way, and you can socket them into your gear. We have over 30. We have 32 new. I'm not gonna say like over 30. We have 32 new malignant powers.
You know exactly how many powers.
Technically, it's 32. So we have 32 new malignant powers going out this way. These are our new legendary power like abilities. You can see this one here: critical strikes, electrically charge creatures for a set amount of damage. So these are like there's a lot of really powerful things like this that you'll be able to kind of like interact with over the course of time. But each of the malignant hearts you're collecting are actually like a category. They're associated with a color. So you have brutal hearts, for example.
Rip
like
inventory stays.
And they'll only
no
go
need for gems
in
anymore.
infested sockets.
Now we need a corrupted heart
during the
tab.
Season of the Malignant of a matching color.
I see.
So when you're hunting for when you're finding new amulets and rings or gambling at the
storage
whatever you want to do, you're kind of looking for specific.
Wow,
socket
people
colors.
do not like
getting
this.
A unique ring from the new Helltide chest rewards as you're playing from the one.
That's right. If you happen to luck out and get Mother's Embrace because you need another Mother's Embrace, then yes, you can absolutely.
One will never do. But what's interesting, with so there's 3 different types of color sockets, yes?
There's 3
so with
types
this,
of
they need
color
to add
sockets,
more storage space, and then they need to add a search.
So the last malignant heart type is called basically a wrathful. It's an extremely powerful malignant heart type. They're very, very rare to find. They will fit in any colored socket as you go. And you kind of want a combination of all of these. So even though the Wrathfuls are pretty strong, you're really only looking to probably have 1 or 2 of these based on what you might actually need for your build, over the course of time. So it's fun, really want to be able to experiment with, again, creating these different problems for players to solve, different ways for players to engage with things, and really change up that experience by virtue of adding these new powers. They're going to unlock different builds potentially for classes, to Tim's point, and just basically be like a
inventory
really fun, exciting
is
new
the
way
new
for players
challenge.
to kind of inject new power in the experience.
But you're looking for so can the jeweler, when the jeweler right now can add a socket to, a piece of jewelry?
Yeah.
Are they able to add colored sockets, or are those only
So you can't
found?
choose the color, but anytime a ring would roll with a socket from when the Season of Malignant starts, it's always going to have a color associated with it. There's not you couldn't get just a regular jewel socket.
But even a jeweler created one? Like if I have a ring with no socket, when I do the jeweler, it'll be colored?
It'll always be colored. Yeah,
so
it'll
you
always
need
be
to
an
do that,
infested socket in this way.
Got it.
Yeah.
But that's true for unique. So if I'm looking for I have a unique ring, like you talked about, but I want the blue version. I could find a unique with the red socket, and I could find it with a yellow socket. So I'm looking for a blue. So there'll be multiple versions of the uniques as well, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So fun new stuff to look forward to, and that's just, we showed in the video earlier, the player fighting a malignant creature. There's a chance for, as Tim pointed out, there's a chance for all kinds of elites out there in the world to be malignant in nature, which makes them a little bit more powerful. But then when you kill them and you go and you actually use the Cage of Binding to capture their heart, then you fight that super consume, the consume version. It's that's gonna be buffing nearby monsters. It spawns a bigger combat in that scene. There's more to look forward to, and those get tougher and tougher. And you want to fight higher and higher level versions of those and higher world tiers to get even better versions of those hearts.
What about World Tier 5? Is it
you can
coming?
get stronger versions of the hearts as you get further into the game, and you might be thinking okay, does that mean the old, the crappy hearts that I got earlier? Are those useless? You can actually break those down at the crafter as well to get a crafting material out of them that allows you to craft new items, including invokers. So invokers are something that you can use a little bit further on once you finish the campaign of Season 1. You will unlock the ability to go and use
campaign.
these
I like
at a
that.
specific place called a malignant tunnel. So if you are
By the way,
trying to,
that's also the name of my colonoscopy.
Okay.
There we go. And
It's a serious thing when you're over 50.
This is,
You should know
and
that.
this,
That's
and this
actually
is
a good
when
That is a good point. So if you have a
my-
malignant tunnel, you should get yourself checked out.
So in the world of Sanctuary, when we say malignant tunnel, we mean, hey, I'm a player and I actually want to get more of these hearts, but it's just a random chance on elites out in the world. Where can I intentionally find more of them? There are these malignant tunnels. So there are actually places across the world where the malignance is manifesting in these new dungeons. So if you specifically want to go find more malignant hearts, you can hunt down these tunnels.
Yep.
You can go in and, hey, there are more malignant there. So there's a higher chance of finding malignant monsters there.
Okay, so
And
it's
if you want to guarantee it, man, I really need
different
a
than,
very specific type of malignant heart. How do I make that even more likely? That's when you
Nightmare
take
Dungeons.
your crafted invoker, you go all the way to the end
But how is
of
it
a
different?
malignant tunnel, and you can use it on a malignant outgrowth. When you use it on that outgrowth, it now spawns that specific type of malignant that's going to have the color associated with it of the heart you're trying to find. You kill that, and you're going to get the specific heart. So there's a little bit more targeted farming you can do as you approach the end game of Season 1.
Actually, I have if go to the C video, it will be able to show you going into an evoker event where you can go in and sort of, which I've heard called the turkey baster from hell, basically, is what an evoker looks like.
It does kind of, yes. I don't, that wasn't the art direction on it, but yeah, that's where we ended up.
So yeah, at the end of these malignant tunnels, you're going to find that there are these masses of malignants that you're going to be able to go and interact with, and each of the
That's the
tunnels
one we
has
wanna watch.
a few different ones that can potentially spawn different colors of malignant outgrowth that can spawn from those. So it gives you those opportunities to
good.
go and really target farm, as Tim's pointed out, certain kinds of malignant hearts as the player's progressing through the experience. Yeah.
So when we show we were just showing it,
Technical
show the one
issues.
you were just showing because that was
Okay.
the invoker event. So basically, there's a growth. You get to the end of the tunnel. You're able to basically, essentially, you're requesting a monster of a particular color. Yes, you're saying I want a blue heart. A chance to get a blue heart by trying to defeat the blue monster. Yes.
That's right, and some of these, are, particularly later on in the experience, the most powerful hearts you can get are going to be delivered from things like these invoker encounters that we go and interact with. So yeah, something we're very excited about.
So basically, they use an invoker on the one of the pods.
That's right. Yeah, the outgrowths from this malignant mass.
Which then creates a blue monster for you to fight. You have to take that down, which will then. So does this one go through the same mechanic where I have to kill it, try to capture heart to kill the harder thing?
Yeah, when this thing pops up, after you kill this one, you don't actually have to capture it. You're fighting the powerful version of it immediately.
That's what I was asking. Yeah, so you don't have to do the 1-2.
That's right.
So that's nice. So it's kind of a little like the sigil crafting, where you basically, I've got a bunch of stuff I'm not using right now. I can craft it down so that I can focus what malignant hearts I want. Because maybe my build, I know I want a brutal heart, but I haven't running into any blue malignants out there in the world. So now I can go into a malignant tunnel, fight my way to the end, have an opportunity to use the invoker to create a blue malignant to go after its heart. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Rogers called it out.
And I know.
That's all I'm here to do is summarize.
That's good.
He's like, I will take everything you said, summarize it into 2 sentences. And I know, obviously with the story and so forth, there are new a new boss and so forth associated with it.
Boss?
We're not redacted, but yes.
It's worth calling out.
There's new boss monster for players to fight over the course of the season. There are new legendary items for players to collect this season.
Correct.
There's our legendary powers, I should say, for players to collect. There's new unique items for players to collect.
Now those new unique legendaries and the unique uniques. Thanks for that. Those are not just in the seasonal realm, though, right? Are those things that are also showing up in the eternal?
That's right. Those will also show up in the eternal realm. So
exactly.
yeah, if you're a player who's really trying to continue to progress your character in the eternal realm, there's now a few new items for you to go try to hunt for and use to kind of augment and change your build.
This is the moment where I can do the producer thing.
Yeah.
So you probably saw before on the screen when we looked at the cinematic. It was awesome. And we said July 20th. Oh my God, there it is. The day it's coming out. We are actually putting out the patch a little bit earlier. So just for awareness, so everyone knows, you're going to see your game patching on July 18th. That is all of the stuff coming to you that is going to turn on July 20th.
Balance changes, the new items. Yeah.
So July 18th is actually anything that shows up on the Eternal Realm is there right away. If you just want to continue playing the game as normal on your existing characters or a new Eternal character if you want, July 18th, the new legendaries and uniques that they were just talking about will be available to you on the Eternal Realm, as well as any other improvements, balance changes, rewards changes that we've made. Those will be there right away on July 18th. July 20th, the season turns on. You can now create season characters.
I think it's like going back to managing expectations. I think one of the things we've been trying to be really clear about with seasons is that it is not a continuation of the main campaign storyline. Like we've been trying to use phrases like it's a new quest line. Working with Corman to solve the Malignant is a big, is obviously the journey you're on, but it's not.
The seasons are going to be free, right?
Lilith journey. It's not extending that story. It's sort of a side story inside the open world.
But
yeah, it takes place after the events of Diablo 4. But you're absolutely right. This is a new self-contained story.
Different options.
Within the season of Malignant, which is great because it just gives us a lot of it forces a lot of
right.
opportunities.
So if you're thinking about
story and create like these,
the battle
these
pass,
big features that kind of go
right? Is that
along
what
with
you're asking?
Supported.
So as I'm playing through that now, it would be amazing if there was some way
so
to
there will be
track my accomplishments through the season. I don't know, maybe some sort of journey perhaps
so you want to track your seasonal journey.
A free version
kind of
and a paid version.
I don't know if I could tee that up any higher for you. We went from golf
regular
to
went from golf to T-ball really fast. Yeah.
Battle Pass, $10.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
and then there's a premium Battle Pass.
Obviously, with season 1, where we're going to bring out the season journey feature, which I know we've talked a little bit about on stream before, but I guess it's worth
$25
out and maybe a little more clarity.
Hey, look, it
gives you 20
this, but
levels out the gate.
all over it now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is
free
no
$10.
Yeah. So this is
$20.
This is the battle pass.
This is the battle pass here.
As part of season 1, and then
so you do not have to pay.
Here, you'll see the season journey, and again, so the season journey is separated into 7 chapters. And like
wow,
these
so this is
chapters,
actually
each of those
going to
has
be lit.
a number of objectives inside each of them in order to allow you to progress that chapter.
And you don't have to do all of them?
You don't have to do all of them. You have to do a subset of them in order to advance to the next chapter. So I think it's really cool. So like objective to objective, you're going to be earning favor drops, which can be used to fuel your battle pass, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute. Yeah. But you're also, for your chapter completion moments, you're getting big drops of that favor that's going to be used like an experience point value for your battle pass. But you're also going to be getting some like item rewards, and importantly, you're going to be unlocking new legendary aspects, ones that you can't normally get through the Codex of Power.
2 weeks from today.
Dungeon completion, and also many of our new legendary aspects we're adding in the season. If you're playing in the seasonal realm, you can collect that
excited.
Power by going to the season journey. So it's a great way for you to
this
introduce
is going to be good.
I'm
actually pumped.
Playing through.
Yeah, I love this. Like one of the things that's hard about for people who know Diablo 3 and its sort of journey.
Hold on, wait. Do you love this?
I love this.
Oh, that actually feels really good to hear.
I love this.
I've already paid for the Battle Pass.
I like the fact that the subset aspect of it, because I know there are certain things.
So it's going to have a different
examples.
story.
Like maybe I hate sellers for some reason. I'm a seller hater, and so I never want to complete a seller. Then the fact that I can advance chapter 1 to go to chapter 2 without ever doing what lurks below.
Wait, you don't like this?
I think that's great, because that's like I find you get into situations. I have other games where they're like, you must do this thing that you really don't want to do in order to progress, and the fact that I don't have to do that here, that I can choose a subset of things to continue my progress, I think is
Battle Pass giveaway?
I think it's really good to hear.
Maybe.
One thing we really want to do is make sure that like the basic example of this is like
you don't have to buy it.
Letting players
it's
use our
free.
Fields of Hatred as opportunities to kind of
There's
like
a free
progress
version.
characters instead of the season, but we don't, and we want to include that
which
in
is
the season journey, which is the PvP content in the game. But we don't want to make that like a requirement that you must go do this content in order to progress your season journey. We want to give players the option to do this if they choose.
One thing I do want to call out here as well with the season journey, and I think you're going to call it out in some other places, is that it can be confusing to players initially that you go to this Battle Pass screen, you click on the season journey button. Do I have to buy the Battle Pass to get this? No. Everyone has access to the season journey. This is a base feature that everybody is engaging with.
That's not bad.
Everybody has access to the Battle Pass too. You're engaging with, even if you never pay a cent, you are engaging with the Battle Pass. You're getting free stuff.
In the seasonal realm.
In the seasonal realm. Yes. Ron has always reminded me to say that. In the seasonal realm, this stuff exists. There is no season journey if you're not in the season. That's very important. It only exists there. There's no Battle Pass if you're not in the season.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So yeah, that's essentially the way the season.
So I would have to look at the patch notes in order to decide what class I'm going to play.
Special, like, cosmetics,
but I would love to play a Summoner Necro.
That path. So we're excited to see players like engage with it and for us to continue to support it in future seasons.
And so we saw that the season journey grants you a lot of favor to go towards.
No pay for power. Nothing in the Battle Pass makes you
like killing
stronger.
monsters, completing like whispers and dungeons and things like all of these things will be earning you favor as you kind of play through the season.
Right.
So anything that's getting
I guess you get loot. Okay, here, look.
Favor as well.
So if you have never played the campaign yet, like you're about to buy the game for the first time with the season.
Maybe this. I don't know what this is.
I'll
if
be
there's
like,
some
okay,
kind
I'm
of
going to roll a seasonal
currency.
character. I'm going to play the campaign. The fact that while I'm playing the campaign, I'm killing stuff, and I'm still earning favor.
102
this stuff
days.
is sort of progressing in the background.
That's a long
right?
season.
That's absolutely correct.
I just won't run into any. I won't run into any malignant
Season blessings.
until I
Oh,
finish
that's
the
season
campaign.
blessings.
That's absolutely right. But you will, as you play, if you make a new character, to your point, Rod, on the seasonal realm, and you're playing through the campaign, you will be earning favor as you're killing monsters and doing things during the campaign. But a lot of those, and you can also progress your season journey, but some of those objectives might require you to go and interact with season features that aren't available until after you finish the events of the Diablo 4 main campaign.
And that's probably one of the big things to be clear about. I know we're going to talk about the transition later, but in terms of
So there's gonna be 2?
getting access to the mechanic, the idea of talking to corpsmen, capturing malignant hearts, having rings with colored socket or jewelry with colored sockets, that stuff all takes place post-campaign.
That's correct.
And so if you haven't beat the campaign yet, you're not going to run into these seasonal mechanics. Right?
Yeah, you won't fight malignant creatures, for example, while you're going through the campaign.
Correct.
Wait, so you have to do the
We'll
campaign
show you
again?
after. So one of the things you can do, and I know we're going to talk about this, and we keep saying we're going to talk about this,
Right.
and then we talk about it anyway. But like, so I would say, like, you know, one of the things you can do to get ready for the season is to make sure you finish your campaign playthrough. Diablo 4, jump in. You can choose to skip campaign when you make your new seasonal character,
Right.
and dive right into the seasonal story and content immediately.
And that's forevermore. That's one thing we tried to say is that once you complete the campaign on one character on your account,
one character, one
for
Coming
every
in 2
season
weeks,
moving
looks like a
forward,
season will last
for any
3
character
months.
you
I think
create
that's
moving forward,
that's a long
you can
time.
skip campaign and start off in Kyovashad level 1 off. Well, and you know,
Not always Kyovashad, but yes.
Is that the only
Foreshadowing.
thing that we can be doing to prepare
well,
for
we should
season
get to
one?
we should get to the battle pass. So the favor. So you have favor flowing because you're playing the game.
You're playing the game because you're doing your season journey objectives. You're getting even
and
more.
I was going to say you're getting more, and the favor is really flowing because I'm completing the season journey objectives, and so that favor is feeding into your progress on the battle pass. Whether you've chosen to just have the free battle pass or whether you've chosen to upgrade it to a premium battle pass. Correct?
That's absolutely correct.
I'm
So
interested.
can we go back to the screen because I think it's one of
I'm
the things.
definitely playing with the boys.
What we highlight here is part of the thing is kind of
102 days.
you know, we use the term.
Uh
Why
oh.
would I want to complete the battle pass?
Mike?
One of the reasons you would want to complete the
Audio?
battle pass is you could look like this.
Yeah.
And by completing the battle pass in terms of the mount armor, the armor that the characters are wearing, and so. Did you want to talk a little bit about kind of the stuff?
I mean, one of the things that's really cool
I think
about
that's
a lot
what
of
he
items in the Battle
said.
Pass, there are these really
I
exciting
think that's
like,
what
armors
he
to chase for
said.
the characters. There are like fun new emotes to go chase for different.
But I don't
classes.
know if he's
And we have
talking
things
about
like the like what we're showing
in
off here, like the
general
Arson's
or
tunic.
each
We have some things that
season?
are like these. And this is actually one of our free cosmetics. Actually, is this the things are like a little bit lower fantasy that we can use to kind of like role play different kind of themes out for your characters. Just give you more
premium
options.
battle pass
We have, like, our favorite
required.
stuff like this, like this is like the Awoken Cold Iron stuff is like some of like the like real.
Oh,
chase
so you gotta
armor,
pay for
cosmetics
that.
exist at the end of the battle pass.
It's one of the things that, like, if you notice either the role-playing armor, like the artisan tunic, or the
You need the premium
helmet,
battle pass
is
to get
one of the
that,
big things about the battle
which is
pass is that
$25
unlike the shop,
bucks.
the battle pass, all of the cosmetics are class agnostic. So why we have a preview for all 5 classes, so you can see what it looks like on a barbarian, what it looks like on a druid, what it looks like on a necromancer, and those sorts of things. And that's one of the nice things about the battle pass is everything you're earning on the battle pass, class agnostic.
Yeah, for those transmogs.
The exception is the transmog weapons. There are transmog weapons on
See,
there.
wait, do we need
that
to
are class specific just because
finish the
classes
campaign?
only
Classes can
equip
only use
certain
specific,
weapons.
yeah.
So if your class
So
can
you
equip
don't
that
cost me.
weapon, then you have access to it. Just to reinforce, I think it was already expressed, but there are lots of free things on the battle pass. If you pay to upgrade it to the premium battle pass, what you're gaining access to are a
That's
bunch
getting
of
in
additional
trouble.
cosmetic things.
Yeah.
So the only thing you're getting access to by paying is that additional cosmetic unlock. So there's really, really cool stuff, some on the early end and then especially on the tail end of it, that's what you're buying into. But the free version,
Keep going. I'm getting ready to transition.
okay, the free version
I know where I
of
want
it
to go after you.
still has some very cool unlocks and anything related to, well, you wanted to talk more about blessings, right?
Well, that's what they're saying with the free side. Like, so we were saying there's 27 free tiers in the battle pass, and part of those 27 free tiers are smoldering ashes that you can get based on the level you are in
Mic
the game,
check.
and that you've progressed with favor. And what do those smoldering ashes get you?
So these smoldering ashes the player will collect at the battle pass are, as you called out, like they're on the free track of the battle pass. You need to be you have a character of a certain level in order to be able to actually use them. So they're kind of like they're rate limited that way. We'll take those and
No
be able
new
to
class?
use those and apply them to the seasonal blessings system.
Oh.
Right.
And here, okay, we can actually finally reveal all of these. So here are the places where, as the player's collecting these,
like
these
this.
ashes, they can invest them here to give all of their characters on the seasonal realm kind of like this advantage able to carry through. So whether that is like, bonus to like XP earned
I like the
monster
first
kills, we
one.
call out here, or things like boosting the duration of all
rest of them
elixirs
kinda
that,
look like
that
trash.
you're using over the course of the season.
Right, and you can looks like I'm assuming that I don't know if it's linear or not, but if I
Don't
would
magic
assume it's
find?
linear, I can do it 4 times at 15%, so like 60% duration on elixirs. In terms of that particular the urn of prolonging.
Rare
That's
materials
right.
from
Yeah, we want to
salvage.
make this just be an extra little fun little thing for players to chase.
Parts
as they're going
drop
through the season,
after
kind of, help them like
completing the
boost their characters
campaign.
a little bit more quickly as they kind of get deeper and deeper into progression. Into the
Damn,
season,
so are you gonna
and
have
give
to
them
do
a
the
few different
campaign
advantages
each
to play with
time?
while they're playing through?
So if I were to max out with my smoldering ashes, there like a urn of prolonging is where I want to invest my smoldering ashes. I can basically take my 30-minute elixir and make it almost a 50-minute elixir. So getting that 5% XP boost. Maybe for me, it's the extra 200 thorns and the 200 armor. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and give you boosts to like get more opportunities to earn like the or better malignant heart drops that can occur for you as you're playing.
And these are available
I
to
don't
everyone
know.
because who's in the seasonal realm because it's part of
the
the free
story's
track.
good, right? It's
And
really
they are
good.
limited based on. They're also limited based on.
But
level of the
I don't
player.
know how
like
many
even if
times
someone
it's
were
gonna
to
be
use
good
the tier skips
if you do it over and
even
over,
though they
right?
might get to the tier that says free
You unlock
smoldering
an ash,
ashes,
it might require-
it doesn't actually unlock until you get to the level requirement.
Yeah, for like for example, like the first ash that you unlock in the battle pass is I think it's tier 8 maybe.
Tier 8,
Yeah, and it has a level 40 character requirement as an example. Just to make it really clear, like you will be able to use this in time, but immediately like you need to continue to progress your character and like continue to level up, and then you'll be able to use that accordingly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can kind of do my little summary thing. So basically, what
Hopefully
we
he
said, so we have a
clarifies.
seasonal theme of the malignant, which has the mechanic of capturing malignant hearts and putting it into jewelry. We use that to complete our season's journey. Our season journey is rewarding us favor. Our favor, we're then putting into the battle pass to get really cool cosmetics and transmogs, but also based on our level and our tier in the battle pass, we'll get smoldering ashes. We can use those smoldering ashes to apply a season's blessing, which allows us to use those urns and get sort of perks for during just this season that we've unlocked.
Those
That's
perks
correct.
look kind of poopy
For
though.
the free person's experience, if you never want to pay a cent, you are still getting a lot of power out of the season journey. And
didn't pay a cent. I paid $70
aspect
for
of
this
the
game.
Free unlocks on the battle pass. So this is kind of an increase in power for everybody.
I actually bought it
and
with
then
WoW
if you
Gold,
want to spend money,
so-
just reinforcing that, that's unlocking more cosmetics.
Cosmetics.
And don't get me wrong, like they're amazing cosmetics. I am planning to pay to unlock them myself. But there's no power that comes from them. They are transmogs. They are not actual items.
Sure.
It's just a transmog you can place on your armor to look cool. They don't actually cause things to light on fire.
Yeah, it's just reinforcing what we had talked about before, and like even
No
before
pay to
launch and so
win, blah,
forth.
blah,
is
blah.
that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
battle
yeah.
pass itself.
No
the paid-
Diablo
the-
Immortal
anything
stuff.
that if you do pay for a battle pass, all the paid items are going to be cosmetics and for you. It's no pay for power.
And if you bought the deluxe or the ultimate edition, this you already will have a ability to make that a premium battle pass. It still doesn't. So
I actually paid
that's
90
great
for
them.
it.
So then let's talk a little bit about the transitional side of it
Yeah,
in terms
okay.
of how I go into this or what happens. So there's a couple of different things. There's like one is like there's a need. So there's a question. I guess we should talk about renown. Like one of the big
Okay,
things
yeah.
that we hear the most about is, hey, I spent a lot of time, and I know I did too.
Ah.
I completed all my renown objectives. I've got full everything. And now I hear, oh, I have to re-roll my character in season. Do I have to go find all the altars of Lilith? Do I have to go all clear the fog of war again?
Yeah, so I know we've talked about this in stream before, but it definitely bears repeating. So like when season 1 goes live, players are going to be able to go basically carry over like all of the fog of war that they've cleared. So everything, all the world they've explored on their characters in each of the zones, like in the Fractured Peaks and Scotsland and such. All of that's going to carry over, as well as all of the renown that you have earned from all of that, all of the
So
exploration.
can we
that
bring
you've
up
done.
the screen? So
Yeah,
basically, where we see areas discovered.
Yeah.
Let's say I've actually. Okay, well, we'll say this is this person.
Yeah.
So right now they've got 30 areas discovered, which is worth 150 renown.
Right.
So what's going to happen is in the season, I'm going to have 30 areas clear inside of Kyrgyzstan.
Damn,
and
so I
will
need
have
to go-
150 renown already in the bank. And it will have unlocked whatever 150 renown will have unlocked. on that
Absolutely right. Yep, absolutely right. So you're gonna have that, and you're also gonna have already collected all of your altars of Lilith that you've got from your current account
So
as
the
well.
same thing here. So I will have 12 will be appearing on my map immediately, and I will have 120 renown in the bank with my other 100. So I'll have 270 renown already earned,
getting
waiting for
positive
me to
response.
claim when I fire up the season.
That's absolutely correct. So these are the advantages you get to start with, and like if you
I
look
need
at,
to
like,
go
all the,
do
now
areas
reflect
discovered.
from discovering all the
I
areas
need to do
and
this.
getting all of your altars of Lilith, is going to get you in each of the zones.
Disconnected.
Basically, through the first 2 tiers, and a little bit of the way through the 3rd tier.
I don't know. I see some
for
L's.
each of the zones for renown. So you get to start with, like, if you start at level 1,
You gotta
on
do
day 1 of
side
the new
quests,
season with a brand new
strongholds,
character,
waypoints,
you'll start, and,
and
you've done all this
side
work,
dungeons.
with your previous characters and previous playthroughs. You'll have 5 skill points to play with, and then 5 extra potion charges. So you'll be at sitting at 9 potion charges.
At
right
level
away.
1, you'll have
Yeah.
5 skill points and 9 potions ready to go.
Absolutely. You just claim those things down. You're good to go for the season.
And your map reveal.
And your map.
And your
reveal.
map reveal.
So that goes back to what Tim was teeing up earlier. When we think about, hey, I'm excited about the season. I want to prepare for it. I've got, what is it? It's the
2
6th
weeks.
today?
Today's the 6th.
Okay,
Yes.
so I have 14 days.
14
I have
days.
2 weeks. What should I be doing in these next 2 weeks? And so one was
Get all your
I gotta
Altar
get
of
the campaign
Lilith.
done because I
Yeah,
really want to
complete the
I want to
campaign.
fight them in like.
Oh.
Like, if you had places to go to, like dig deep on clearing the fog and dig deep on finding the altars, because
I think you
those
just
are
said
gonna
it.
carry into the season.
Yeah, all that stuff will carry over with you.
Okay, so then Tim, how do I think about? I've got 5, 6 alts, my characters right now in the Eternal Realm. We're talking about carrying over progress based on your. How do I ensure that the progress, like the most progress character, it actually impacts my seasonal character? Like,
Yeah, Tim, tell us.
Yeah, it's a great question. For various technical implementation reasons, we do actually need you to log in on existing characters to kind of self-migrate some of your data with this. So this is something that we implemented based on player feedback that we got. So we put it in as quickly as we could. It is in for Season 1, but what we need you to do, once Season 1 comes out, actually once the patch comes out, you don't even have to wait until July 20th. You can do this on July 18th, which is when the patch goes live. You should log in with characters that have the most progress. If you have a single character you played, or if you have one character that, hey, on this
So you
one
can
character
get
I
your-
unlocked all the altars and cleared all the fog of war, awesome. You just have to log in with that person. When you log in with that character, all of that progress is going to be propagated across your entire account. It'll be saved as, hey, this is just unlocked for your whole account now. At that point, any character you log on, either one of your existing alts or any new character you make in seasons, will now have all of that progress. So you have to do it once, but after you've done that, it is now saved to your account. And just to reinforce, the experience you're going to have if you have unlocked all of these things, it takes a little bit of work, but if you've unlocked all of that, when you start that new seasonal character,
So I need 5.
wow, is that a lot of power. You are going to level
Do
pretty
one.
fast, because extra 5 skill
I need
points,
one.
extra 5 potions,
Okay.
you are ridiculously overpowered when you first start playing. Like, that is a lot of extra
It
power.
will
So.
accelerate you a little bit as you start.
And because that is a big caveat, like we will be reminding everyone. I'm going to be like literally screaming it from the rooftops. I know we will be posting it in our patch notes on
I need to go, like, over
Vecna
here.
for the
That's
patch
pretty
on the
much it.
18th, just to remind people that yes,
Okay.
log into your characters beforehand.
We'll
even
do
if,
this.
Even if you log in, like if you jump into the season later
Before,
on, you can log into those characters with the most amount of progress.
Well,
and
that's,
so
We'll
yeah,
do it
that's
before the
two things
season.
we should-
We'll make sure we
I'm
got
gonna probably do
everything.
Questions, but one is, I don't do that for whatever.
So you need
I
to
go on
complete the
vacation, I'm not playing,
campaign
I come back, the season started. I can still log in
separately
my Eternal Realm
before
character
you
and
can
have all
go
that progress
do
brought
that.
to the season. Yes.
Yes.
Even after the season started. So it's not like, oh, you only have 18 to 20 to
Exactly.
get it those 2 days.
It's there forever. Functionally, from this point forward, anytime you ever log in on a character, it will just check, like, hey, does this character have any progress that's not already credited on your account? Cool, I'm now crediting it to your account.
Right. And so and that's for the seasonal. So if I think about the Eternal Realm, like for example, my Necromancer has everything. I've got the full bar on Renown on all 5. Not humble bragging. That's a point of fact.
humble bragging.
Yeah,
Not humble bragging.
absolutely.
So for the next 5 minutes, we're going to talk about
So
this.
let's talk about how good my Necromancer is. No, but all I'm saying is I have a Sork that has not had the same level of progress in the world. So after the 18th, when I log in my Necro and all that progress gets put to my account, when I go to log in my Sork next, even on the Eternal Realm, my Sork will now have all the progress that my Necro
Correct.
has.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
And let's say, like,
That's good. That's kind of how I figured it
Let's say
should
that you've
work.
got,
I know.
you've got 2 different
We
characters.
should do some sort of
You've
dev
got-
stream where we can talk and go deep.
That's true, actually, yeah. So let's say you've got like 2 characters you play. Like one has done everything in the Fractured Peaks, has uncovered everything in the Fractured Peaks, and has uncovered like all the altars of both. You get another character who's gotten everything in Scott's Glen, who's unlocked like all the field, the Fog of War, has found all the altars of Lilith. If I log in on my Fractured Peaks character, and just by doing that, all of that credit will now be transferred to my Skazglen character. When I log into my Skazglen character, all of that credit will be applied to my Fractured Peace characters. At that point, all of the credit of the progress I've made on either of those characters has been propagated to the entirety of my account.
Right. So that's
Okay, that's
an
good.
It's not
but
just like it's not like the one account that has
it's
the
still
most stuff and
getting
then I wanna log
reset.
into that one. No, you want to log into every account that might have like tons of progress.
Except for
that
Fog
made
of
in
War and
different
Altars of
directions.
Lilith.
Right.
And I think to just again, hey, let's talk about managing expectations. Some of you might be saying like, wow, that sounds a little clunky. And I think the point that Tim was trying to make was, hey, prior to season 1, we had actually talked about that you wouldn't have any renown progress carryover. You would have to go find the Altars of Lilith. You would have to go clear the Fog of War. Like the original plan when launching the game, or prior to launching the game, the original plan that there was no transition of state from Eternal Realm to Seasonal Realm as part of this. And so hearing the player feedback as we talked about seasons and hearing the response that we got about what, I have to find all the altars again, what, I have to clear the map again, and wanting to make sure that
damn, if they did that, that would have been a big mistake.
We put in a system that allowed us to do that, but is not the most smoothest, most sophisticated, because we were doing it under very tight time constraints as quickly as possible.
Hey, did you want it done?
Yeah,
did you want it done?
The answer is yes. I'm just saying, like, that wasn't the design from the start was not to do this, log in a character on the 18th and make it pass.
Yeah,
that's what we had to do to make it happen for season 1.
And this was based off of, obviously player feedback that we had gotten since launch. So this is us implementing it quickly to address, the feedback that you guys have been giving. And then on top of that, I like a huge shout out to our engineers for getting this all implemented before we actually jump into the season.
Much like the Nightmare Dungeon teleport,
Exactly.
like miracles can happen and very quickly. So
a lot of these actually end up with us going to an engineer and asking how long it would take to do it, and the first answer is to do it right.
First answer is they cry.
Yeah. And then there's like, okay, well, what about to make it work right now? And always, if you told me you wanted to do this X months ago, I could have done it way easier because we implemented it completely differently. So yeah, we make it work, but sometimes the fact that you have to log in to get the progress propagated, we would have made it a smoother version if we knew months ago.
All right, all right, like zoom in on me. Zoom in on me.
Come closer.
Let's do that. Okay, it's not going to happen. There it is. Okay, yeah, all right. It's a live game. We know we need to it's a live game. We know we are looking at trying to make improvements based on the feedback that we're getting from players. We're playing the game ourselves, and we're kind of seeing how everything is really feeling as it's all coming together with a giant audience of players playing and enjoying the game. We want to make sure that we are making the right changes as quickly as we can for the community. Some of those things are a lot harder than others. But like all the feedback, like Adam, you called out some things really early on at the program, like we're hearing feedback about this and this, and like inventory space. We talked about gems last time and things we want to do there. We're trying to move very quickly in a lot of these things. Some of them are a lot more challenging technically to do than others, but we are rapidly moving on as many changes as we can because we are fervently trying to make the very best version of Diablo 4 possible in the fastest time frame that we can to deliver to the player base, because we're players too. We also want the same things. So just know that we're working hard. We care deeply. We love our engineers and our designers and our producers and the staff's been helping with all the hotfix and everything else. We are trying to make sure.
I know, right?
You
can talk hella fast
to players on a regular basis. So just stick with us. Keep giving us that feedback. We're going to keep making adjustments as we go between seasons and other updates. I can attest that whenever Joe would like to make a change based on feedback he's seen from reading it wherever he reads it, the first version is always, can we do this immediately? That is always the first request. Never like, hey, let's get this in eventually. When it makes sense and when it's comfortable. No, it's always, could we do this right now? Is it possible for us to do this right now?
So I want to move the Overton window where I just expect everything to be done in 6 seconds.
But this is the thing about about doing it safely. Like, I think one of the sort of the junior mistakes some people can make is this idea of like time is only what it takes to implement, and it's not. It's time is also what it takes to test and make sure that it's robust and stable. And so that's one of the things that, like, when you look at we have a follow the sun QA organization around the world, and that's what allows us to do, I don't know, we're what, to 15, 16 hot fixes or more now.
Yeah.
And our big client patches is that ability of not only can we get we have some heroic engineers who can turn stuff around very quickly, but we also have some heroic QA teams around the world who are helping us make sure that when we make these changes, we're doing it in a safe way. So, but I appreciate your patience on that. And so this is exciting. Season 1, Season of the Malignant.
Yes. It's finally here.
Yes.
I'm waiting to reveal this for a
in
long
2
time.
weeks?
And, in 2 weeks, and
Five?
again, like Tim
It's
had
not
mentioned,
technically here for you all, but soon. Soon, very soon.
as Tim had mentioned, we will have a patch on the 18th for Diablo 4 that will contain all the changes that will be coming in with Season 1.
Yep.
If Tiffany Watt were here, who was on our campfire chat before,
Yep.
she categorized our 103 patch as chonky.
Right.
I will categorize in Tiffany Watt's words
The technical
as
term, yeah.
super chonky for Season 1. It actually is our largest, or chonkster, as Tim called it.
Okay.
Chonkers. So we're going to pull up the Wikipedia entry and actually go through it, the history of chonkers. But yeah, it is very big. So we will have notes up for that. And again, players can prepare for Season 1 by, completing the campaign for sure.
Do the campaign,
and making
clear the
sure,
fog of war.
yeah, clear fog of war, discover the map, and of course, get all your altars. So lots to come for Diablo 4. And then again, we also have just more improvements that will be in that patch. What our balance changes to bug fixes to you name it. I can go on. There's even some reward changes coming for some Nightmare and Helltide related activities as well, some endgame activities, because I've been hearing some feedback regarding like, hey, it would be great if we can get like maybe better rewards with some of these activities, and so I know some of those changes are coming in that actual update as well. But I know we want to do Q&A.
We do.
Yeah.
And this is a live stream, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Q&A?
I know we get sometimes people are like, I don't know if this is live. No, this is totally live. So we're actually going to be bringing in, we're actually going to kick off Rod because we're done with him. No, I'm just kidding. Rod is actually just
I'm actually going to go and annoy you from the side.
I know. It's the worst. Rod's going to jump over here. We're actually going to bring back
we going?
Chris and Ryan from the Immortal team. Who will be jumping in here.
I think you're supposed to open that chair. I didn't do my job.
I
didn't do my job.
Rod had one job and failed to do it.
I failed to open the chair.
So we're going to bring these guys in. I know we have questions queued up from different people in Twitch chat. So if you guys have questions, of course, feel free to drop in questions and
This is
everything.
not quite in. You need to switch clearly.
Oh, I need to scooch too
Scooch a
because I
little
think
bit over.
I think
like,
we scooch a little bit more.
Live
okay.
television.
We're scooching live.
And we're scooching, live scooching, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
here's the problem. We also, the
Like all
production
kinds of
team hates me.
cables beneath us and stuff?
I want to give a shout out to our production group behind here because
going?
I literally go like, oh, we're only going to have like 2 people.
Huh?
And then we continue to add people, and then Rod wanted to be in it.
You get the
yesterday.
shape?
So now
What?
suddenly we're up to like 20 people, and this room can't hold this many people. So I apologize.
here
They
we
are
okay.
angels, and they deal with me. But we do have some questions, and I will be kind of going back and forth in between both of them. But we do. Oh, perfect. We do have some questions up here. Someone's also calling me, which is awful at this time.
Any updates around respecting
quick
character?
question. Any updates around, this is for D4 specifically, any updates around respecting characters?
Yeah, so right now I think that there's a few different concerns we're hearing from the community. There's the general cost of respecting characters, and then there is at various stages of the game. And then there is the actual experience of respecting a character, particularly when you're deeper into the Paragon system. Like that takes a lot of effort. So we have longer-term plans on the user experience side, like on the menu side. Things we want to do to improve the flow of allowing players to respect their characters. These are things we're actively investigating. We have designs for things we're looking to add into seasons in the future, but we don't have a date that we're committing
Writing
to.
down.
For
This
that.
guy's talking hella fast.
And in terms of the actual price of that, we're evaluating things on like the gold economy, and we're taking a look at like what players are doing on a regular basis. We're not making any fundamental structural changes to today at this time, but we are, because we're satisfied with where things feel like in the 150. One thing we will be adding though is as part of seasons, there is now a new reward that you can collect as you're going through the season journey at the end of each season, called the Scroll of Amnesia. Which, once you collect a Scroll of Amnesia, you can use that one time to basically reset the entirety of a character all in one go for no gold cost at all. So these are going to be like pretty fun things to bring back with you to turn around if you want to use for future playthroughs or for that character or another character. So we're going to make sure that
the
we're
other
slowly,
thing?
Adding a few of these as the players progressing through the experience.
What's the other
Kind of
thing
making
you're
it
talking
easier for
about?
players to go through.
And that Scroll of Amnesia is everything. It's all your skills.
What are the
all your skills
embers?
are gone,
Paragons,
everything
yeah.
goes to zero.
Yeah.
Awesome. For Immortal, we have a question from, I'm reading everyone's names, 8 Miles West. How much will the Blood Knight cost? I know we covered this early on, but if you guys want to reiterate.
The Blood Knight will cost nothing. The Blood Knight is free.
It's free. So if you're a new Immortal player, or you're a existing Immortal player, you can literally jump in, start playing the Blood Knight on day one, which is on July 13th. So, and of course, you can play through the campaign, and we had mentioned that it has essentially custom VO and everything associated with it.
That's right.
For D4, I should be more prepared with these.
That's usually that's
usually
a safe statement all the time. Is you should be more
we
prepared.
have Rod judging me off screen right here, and I'm just like, awesome.
Perfect. Little side story real quick. So we have a thing in design called design armor, where like as you're about to like talk about an idea with someone, you're like, this might be a really bad idea, but and that's you putting up your shield saying, this is my design armor. Saying, I know that this might be really, really bad, but we're talking about it anyway. So yes, I should probably be more prepared, but here we go. That's your design armor.
Question from Fig Larna.
You committed to saying the names.
I know I did.
We don't want anyone to suggest that these are not real questions.
Yeah, from Fig Larna. Will seasonal mechanics be added to the Eternal Realm after the season ends? I think that's something we didn't actually clarify fairly well.
That is a great question that actually gets asked internally as well a lot. Like, hey, this is awesome. Are we going to keep it around forever? Initially, no. Like, initially, the version of the Malignant mechanics that you're seeing are not planned to show up in the Eternal Realm. However, we are reserving the right as developers that if we see something cool and we think, wow, this is just fantastic, this should just be part of the game, that we will just make it part of the game. So it is absolutely an option. Some mechanics you might see in future seasons might be that way right away. We might be planning that, hey, this will show up in Eternal Realm right away. Others will evaluate them as we play them and then see if this is working really well. This is something that we want to integrate with the Eternal version of the game.
Yeah, I want to stay on this just 1 second longer. That's not to suggest that we're not going to be, as part of the seasons, intentionally using those update opportunities to create content for the base game, like stuff that will persist beyond the end of the season. But we really do want to hone in on the idea that we're like, Malignant Hearts are very powerful, as we talked about before. They're really, really cool. They're very exciting. We can't add something exciting like that every season if it's expected to all last, because the game's going to be a complete mess.
Right.
So we're not going to do that. What we would end up needing to do is all of those things would be
that would be crazy if they added each season
to the players over the course of time. And it would make the game extraordinarily dense in terms of what the players expected to do on a regular basis.
And to understand.
We know that there's opportunities to extend things like add more endgame features. We know that there's more content that we want to add to the game in general that like everybody's going to need forever, and we're going to be looking at those opportunities as we go. But things like Malignant Hearts, we don't want to have something of that size in Season 1, then add something of similar size in Season 2, and then Season 3 and Season 4, because the game's going to get extremely dense and difficult for players to really navigate. We want to be able to like take these things away, introduce new ideas, but having known what worked really, really well with Malignant Hearts and what stuff we could maybe have improved upon, we get to take all of those ideas forward.
It's also part of the cool factor of the season is that when you're going in, these Malignant Hearts, it's there for the season. So even, let's take a player that, let's say, doesn't like to play alts except of the same class. I just love playing Barbarian, and I have 3 different
Eternal Realm means non-season.
Player, and all you play is rogues, and all you do is build rogues.
There might be a lot of those too. But let's say a Barbarian, that's my hypothetical, I'm sticking with it. So I'm a Barbarian lover, and I've made all these Barbarians. Season 1 is still an exciting time to make a new Barbarian, because we have
this guy's on the Eternal Realm. So when Season 1 starts, I will not be able to play this character onto the season.
Different from Barbarians you played in the past. Your end game is going to be very different. So that excitement goes away if we just say like, oh, all of these powers just exist in the game forever. The whole idea is that no.
So after Season 1,
fresh new experience.
When it goes to Season 2, your Season 1 characters will go into the Eternal Realm.
Some of that stuff is always designed,
which is what you're playing now.
So Joe, I mean, one of the things.
This is Rod off camera speaking.
Rod off camera. Hey, voice again.
Joe,
yes.
Maybe speak to the fact that
Everybody starts at the same place of the season is one of the benefits, so that people aren't like a year behind when they go to play Season 4.
Yeah, that's an important part of this as well. One of the reasons we really like the idea of letting players start back fresh and have like an economy reset, players really jumping back in the experience at level 1 with characters, is it allows us to focus on making sure the entirety of that journey is really engaging and exciting for players to go through. And we want to make sure, like by the end of the first session, for example, like you're getting exposed to like the new features and content available that we're introducing in that season. That everything feels like it's balanced in such a way that players can really enjoy the new things that we're adding and the way that they're kind of intelligently mixed with the rest of the features in the game itself. So that we think of that experience is part of what makes a Diablo game anyways. Like making a new character, getting those item drops, like building up towards the end. With regards to like the way that we decided to conduct our efforts in seasons for Diablo 4, we think this is a really like the prime example of the way that we can make this work.
But I wanted you to hit on the point, the fact that if somebody buys the game,
yeah, they're not like fundamentally behind.
Yeah, if somebody, look, I'm gonna mess with the camera people. Can you? Yeah. You can't even do it, can you? You can't even get there. All we can do is I can just have my talking stuff. Oh, hey, what's going on? The notion of the thing.
This guy needs to sit down.
We want, again, the game's
chill.
a live service. The game's going to live for years. We want somebody who buys the game a year from now to not feel like they're a year behind when it comes to. So one of the benefits of seasons is in season 4,
finish campaign
on
each
day
season
1,
with
you and
a
I are
seasonal
both level
character.
1. I bought it that day. You have owned the game for a year.
I don't
We're in the
think
same
so.
place. We can play together and have fun together. And so as opposed to everybody from this
I
moment on
think
is now
you
falling
only
behind.
need to
Seasons
complete
allows
the
us to have
campaign
that fresh start
once
for everybody, right?
Yeah,
on
that's
your
actually,
Eternal
I couldn't
Realms
put it better myself.
character.
That serves as a really good opportunity for us
And
to make
then
sure
when the
players
season 1
have these starting points
starts,
together. When you want to come in a little bit later into the game experience, if you
you'll
take
go.
like a season or 2 off because something else came out.
Well, I don't know.
We
I'm not
wanna
exactly
make
sure,
that
though.
It feels like whenever you. The most important thing for us in seasons, like kind of going off script and different.
That's kind of the question I've been trying to ask,
when you're playing
too.
seasons and you're playing Diablo 4, you're having a great time.
Oops.
And when you've reached all the goals and done the things that you think are really, really important, and you want to go like take a break to go play something else for a little while, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. We do the same thing.
You don't fall behind.
But when a season rolls and there's new things for you to come check out, that's a great time to come back. Particularly if you had a good time playing before. That's exactly when you should come back and check out Diablo 4 fresh.
Okay, I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When the next WoW expansion comes out, there's a non-zero chance that I'm going to play WoW for a while. But it's great to know there's a point that I can come back to Diablo 4 and everybody's on an even footing. Yeah.
Question here from Jeffrey Allen, and didn't specify the Steve 4 DI, so I'm actually going to ask both because I think this is relevant to both. Also,
why do you have a new mic?
I actually don't know. But yeah.
Torment 5 too. What about
mics,
that?
Guys. I'm very.
I'm too mic Adam.
You have me in stereo. Can you say which cosmetics will be transferring between characters? So for instance, like for Diablo Immortal, we'll ask this specifically for Diablo Immortal, and then we'll talk about Diablo 4. But in regards to transferring cosmetics, like if you ended up buying a cosmetic in Diablo Immortal, does that actually also appear in the Blood Knight?
So cosmetics purchased prior to the Blood Knight's release will not be retroactive. However, the what was the Mother's Lament set?
Hatred's Heritage.
Hatred's Heritage will be available for the Blood Knight.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So going forward, there will be now new cosmetics available for the Blood Knight, just as they are for all the other classes in Immortal. And then I guess for D4, will cosmetics be transferring to seasons, and will they need to be reobtained? I know this was like a question that we get a lot from people in regards to transmogs, and if you salvage specific stuff, how does that work between characters from Eternal and Seasonal Realms?
Yeah, we've got this all transferring over with you when you go into the new season, and obviously every cosmetic set that you're purchasing, you get the
Has he
sword
said it yet?
and the battle pass. That stuff also is going to be carrying over with you.
Yes. If you ever unlock anything, your whole account has access to it forever. Is the current functionality.
Nice.
I shouldn't say it that way. It sounds like we're going to change it.
Yeah, don't use the word forever, ever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nightmare. This is from Kincho Kimo. This is Nightmare Teleport was great, but why can't we just teleport right into dungeons rather than just to the entrance? So this one I think is interesting because
what a
Nightmare,
dumb, lazy question.
We obviously incorporated the teleport here in 103. It was another thing that we had talked about where it was community feedback that we had gotten, and the team jumped on it really quickly to implement it in a specific way. We have been seeing a lot of feedback in regards to players having to teleport outside of dungeons and kind of go through like a couple load screens. It was a quick, implementation from the team and everything. So I know it's something that we've been hearing from our side, and it's something that we're going to be looking at more here in the future for optimizing and making sure that we can implement and maybe in a better way from some of the features that we've been just kind of adding in really quickly. On Immortal, we have. Was there some sort of Castlevania inspiration with the Blood Knight? Looking very, very similar to some popular characters from that franchise. Very pretty vampire-ish people, but not vampires.
I think we've discovered Adam's kink, by the way.
We can turn off Rod's mic now, so that's all we need to do. But yeah, was there any inspiration kind of thrown with the Blood Knight?
I think, when you're working with a tropic idea in fantasy like vampires, you take inspiration from all over. The spear thing puts us in mind of Vlad the Impaler. The aesthetic, you've already talked about some potential references, but I think for us is as much like what we take out as what we leave in. We don't want the Blood Knight to feel like a grab bag of all vampiric myths. They are very specifically grotesque, blood, shadow, knightly weapons oriented. And so there were things like turning into mist, like turning into wolves, etc., that we immediately said, hey, these need to be off the table. And so in that regard, I think there's a lot of familiar that we're channeling, but there's also like a very dialed in identity for the class.
Awesome.
Everybody knows that it's necromancers that turn into mist.
Let's see. In regards to Diablo 4, we have. Will you guys be nerfing or buffing in the middle of seasons, or will you be making changes after the season starts?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So,
this is from Godic, by the way. So there you go.
Okay,
I just wanted
it's
to.
a real person. So yes, this is a good question. So we made a number of adjustments during the preseason period to make sure that we're bringing some builds back into where we expect them to be functionally and performance-wise. When we go into the seasonal release, we do want to create structured moments in time that we're going to be talking about, I think, more in future streams when we expect like buffs and nerfs to happen. So we have like a regular set of like patches that are going to be occurring after the season is released, where we have like a better schedule like in cadence when we're talking about these things. We really want to try to reserve like big nerfs and big buffs for only like extreme outlier cases, and things were like really damaging the end game experience for a number of players.
That's the big question.
So
I don't
we want to try
know.
and keep that more constrained, and we also want to have just fewer general like off cycle balance updates and things. So we're kind of keeping things more into this weekly cadence like we talked about.
So yeah, things will be pretty stable throughout the course of the season, unless, if one of the malignant powers, I know I've joked about them being broken, but if the zone lights on fire when you use a malignant power, we're going to patch that. But otherwise, we're going to try and keep things stable.
I know we're running close on time because we were planning on this stream to be 90 minutes and we're 1 minute away. So I'm gonna lightning off a few questions. A big question within chat is obviously about stash space, which is something that we kind of just talked about a little bit earlier.
I'll say real quickly though, like we definitely hear everybody about this. We are talking a lot about what we need to do with this. We've got good plans of things we can do to improve the situation. I know it's frustrating to hear me say like, what you were able to do this, like you could be able to do like nightmare dungeons this quickly, but like the reality is like we are moving really quickly on this, and we're gonna be trying to provide more space in the future. We're figuring out how like we're gonna get that accomplished.
Yeah, and also one thing to note is I know we talked about during campfire chats about how gems and so forth were going to be part of the part of materials in the future. So I know when that
I don't want to
hits,
go.
that'll obviously free up a lot of stash
there's
space.
lots
For
of
Summoner
slice
Necro.
away at this problem. And that's like an example of what we're trying to do to start trying to mitigate this a bit.
And then Jim, the Q guy, asked how much time between seasons. Still wants to level up his main. So in between seasons, obviously.
That question is answered, dude.
We had talked about seasons lasting 3 months.
It's a minimum of 12 weeks. Sometimes it might be a little longer.
It was literally in the corner of the battle pass. You wasted a question.
Correct. Yeah. So you guys will hear
the calendar dates, right? But
so you guys will hear like no matter what within or like once we hit that 3 month period, you'll start to hear news about the next season actually hitting and everything like that. And then this one, I guess for Rod, are there any plans on new classes coming to Diablo 4? We've just heard about the Blood Knight, so they're
bro. These are
nothing to announce at this time.
Oh wow, that was very strange.
Yeah, Rod sitting off camera can answer that perfectly. So,
bro, they've already
I
said they're
think,
adding
we're
more
gonna wrap it here
classes
for today. Obviously, we talked a lot about all the stuff with Diablo Immortal for the Blood Knight coming out on July 13th. We also have for Diablo 4 Season 1, Season of the Malignant, which is going to be the patch will be on July 18th. and then the actual season starts
That's
on
perfect
July
because
20th. We do actually
my
have
WoW sub
2
expires on the
blogs, one on
21st.
on DiabloImmortal.com and one on Diablo4.com. They'll be going live either right now or immediately after this live stream. That'll have all the details and information that we just talked about here on the stream. Yeah, lots of stuff coming up here for Diablo.
Patch this afternoon.
Oh yes, and there's a patch this afternoon. You'll be
104.
seeing. Oh, I forgot. That's why I have to do it immediately after the stream. I was trying to get out of it, guys. But we will have a patch. We'll have patch notes up on Diablo4.com. We have a patch article that will actually note, and we'll be updating people when that patch does hit. It is a client patch. It will require a download. It will be on all platforms. And yeah, lots of Diablo stuff coming up here in the next few weeks. Really excited. Happy Diablo family.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff coming up. I know we will be rating 2 Diablo content creators immediately after this stream. One on Twitch, which is Barricade, and the other one on YouTube, which is Killswitch. So make sure to tune into those guys. And thank you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in to the Diablo Developer Update live stream. And from everyone here on the Diablo team, we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
So, let's do a little recap here. What do we know? Nothing about stat. Okay. Who wants to be a millionaire? Okay. Alright, this is what I got so far. Season 1 prep. Complete the campaign. Discover all altars of Lilith and uncover all fog of war. All that stuff will be transferred onto Season 1. Season of the Malignant. That is the Season 1 mechanic. Well, that's the name of the season. Kill the corrupted. The corrupted enemy who's stronger. Capture the heart. It goes in the ground. More enemies spawn. They're also malignant. Kill them. And then it drops a heart. And you take the heart and you put it in your jewelry. 3 levels of battle pass. The free version, the $10 version, and the premium version. Which the premium has the most cosmetics. Right? And I think that's it, right? Nothing else really about the battle pass. Season 1 story, I don't know. July 18th is when you can download the patch, and then July 20th the season begins, and it's going to last, he said, minimum 12 weeks. Minimum 12 weeks, so 3 months. Right? Scroll of Amnesia coming. You can reset your character. Yeah, I heard him say something about that. Season Blessings. Okay, so this is what you are rewarded in the battle pass. And then you can spend these season blessings to upgrade your XP, the chance to get rares from salvaging, and your elixir duration. Season 1 content may transfer into the internal realms. Right, so after the season ends, like the season of Malignant might go into the season 1, or the Eternal Realms, sorry. And then there's supposed to be a big patch notes update for the season, right? It's going to help you choose all the characters or whatever. And then Torment 5. They didn't really say anything about that. So, can I like... That's all I know about it. Really, I think. They said there's going to be a patch later today. What? Really? Oh my god. Really? Okay, well, let's see. Let me just restart BattleNet and see if there's any patch. But other than that, um, I'll probably make a video later. I'm actually working on 2 videos right now. The first one I'm working on is BattleBit. It's gonna be kind of like a highlight slash funny kind of stream. Live maintenance Thursday, July 6th from 2 to 5. Okay. So we'll be back with the patch notes later today. Today is Melissa's birthday, so we're gonna go to the movies and do whatever she wants to do today. I just wanted to like go live and kind of cover the Diablo stuff a little bit. So I'll probably make a video about season 1, what to expect, things to do, prepare, blah blah. Working on a battle bit video right now. That will take a while. And games that we're gonna be playing this month. We're gonna be finishing up Wrath of the Lich King. We'll probably, I don't know, just get to whatever level, and then we're not gonna renew. We're not gonna play Dragonflight 10.5, which comes out July 11th, I think, unless something major happens. Um, we'll probably still do streaming of the League of Legends 2v2 arena stuff. We'll be playing BattleBit, and we'll be playing Farlight, and maybe Halls of Torment a little bit. So that's what you guys can expect going forward for this month. I do have some trips coming up, so there will be some days I will not be around. But I will do my best to let you guys know. Join the Discord. I mentioned my Discord. Or it's in my profile, I think, or my Twitter. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. So once again, thank you guys for watching the stream. Thank you guys for the follows today, the subscribes on YouTube. We're gonna get some work done. Read on the website, complete campaign on 1 character. Okay, should we take a look at that? Take a look at that real quick. Season? Is this what you're talking about? Is this where I can find the information? Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you again. New quest line, okay. Okay. New boss battle, okay. Okay. Create a new seasonal character and the main character's progress transfers to a seasonal one. Complete chapters of the season journey and earn rewards. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. So I don't even know if I have this because I'm not logged in. How do I access the season content? Do I need a battle pass? Balance my character. How can I progress the battle pass? That's what where to skip. I figured it was doing Those are all like really obvious questions. I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna go into this in more detail later on, possibly like later this evening. There were different. The last question. Patch notes. Okay, I haven't got them out yet. Okay. Yep. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. I hope you're pumped for season 1, like I am. Should be good. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. I'll be streaming it a lot. I think I've said everything I need to say. Yeah. Have a good day.